Really? Greasy, sticky, slimy.
Massive goo alert! Wow, the juice has come loose. You guys, a Bitcoin wallet that's been dormant since early 2009 from an unknown wallet just transferred a couple $100,000 worth of Bitcoin off of the address. This is huge news. We gotta get into this. Just 1 month after Bitcoin's first block was mined, these are ancient Bitcoins. And Bitcoin smashed through this triangle. Finally, guys, it's about time. Actually bouncing off 9,300. Will this continue, or will we dump massively lower? We have to talk about this in the video. Specifically with these triangles, there's a very weird thing that sometimes happens, and we'll get into that in more detail later in the video. We'll take a look at an ascending triangle's definition, tactics, and what exactly the most likely target is, and what the target of the breakout is too. And as well, guys, Captain Crunch time. We only have mere moments until we finally see a sharp rejection or a massive blast off. And as well, what are the chances of Bitcoin hitting 20K in 2020? There's actually some Bitcoin options market data showing a low % chance, but we want to show you some other factors that we have to take into consideration as well. Guys, this does not happen often. Let's get into it. Skippity-doo-dah, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another extremely episode of Bitcoin today. We have a lot going on. Guys, there is literally no eyes on this planet that hold Bitcoin that are not glued to these charts. Everybody's waiting in extreme anticipation for this massive move that we should be seeing soon. And as this is happening, we get this breaking news that Bitcoin from a wallet that is 11 years old just transferred off the address. Guys, this is huge. This is insane. These are ancient Bitcoins. It's an unknown wallet. Is it possible? Again, this is not confirmed whatsoever. It's highly speculative. But is it possible that these coins could be belonging to Satoshi? Now, there were other people mining back then, so it doesn't have to be him, obviously. But we'll get into that as well. This is breaking news, so a lot of information is going to come out over the next 48 hours, most likely, about this. Guys, absolutely massive. Wow, so guys, thanks so much. We actually smashed way past the like goal of the last video, so we will be giving away this ledger at the end of this episode. But as well, if you want to enter for this next one, guys, if we get this video to 1,400 likes, then we'll give away another ledger tomorrow. I have a few extra because I got a lot 50% off during that sale last week. Wow, and as well, guys, if you want to take advantage for $40 off T4 and you want to learn my strategies and have a strong understanding of TA, I definitely recommend it. Condensed into roughly 2 hours of content that'll be ever expanding in the future as well. Altcoin information, amazing value for the course. If you have any questions or want to pay in Bitcoin, reach me at the address below. Guys, great way to support the channel, but let's get into this crazy data. Wow, so guys, before we actually get into these breaking news stories with the Bitcoin whales, actually, I started filming this just a few minutes ago, and we've actually gotten a break out of this triangle. Now, could this be significant? You just saw this happen live on the screen. You see that big drop right there with the candle. First time breaking significantly out of this pattern in a very long time. Could this actually be the breakout to the downside? Are we going to get a rejection? Currently below 9,600, guys. So that is absolutely massive. Maybe we are finally, like we've been saying for days, finally going to break out of this sideways consolidation. It is about time. More on that later in the episode. We'll let some of this TA play out while we get into some of this news here, guys. So this is huge, okay? 11-year-old coins mined all the way back in February of 2009 just moved. According to Whale Panda, this does not happen often. You can see that here, last seen receiving over 11 years ago. That's massive, okay? We take a look at this whale alert, about $400,000 worth of Bitcoin transferred to a possible, okay, this is very speculative, Satoshi-owned wallet. Again, it's very possible that it could be someone else. It doesn't have to be Satoshi. It's just there were a lot less miners back then, but there still were other people mining Bitcoin. The coins in this transaction were mined in the first month of Bitcoin's existence. This is huge. So you have to ask yourself, why are they doing this now and maybe not during 2017 or 2018? Why didn't they move these coins back then? Are they expecting something huge to be happening in the near future? Very telling. And as well, Joseph Young here says 50 Bitcoin moved from February of 2009, just 1 month after Bitcoin's first block, okay? Not a lot of people who can do this, but there are other people besides Satoshi. Potentially they could be associates of Satoshi, but for the most part, they would have to be pretty inclusive in Bitcoin. Some of the very first few people ever involved in Bitcoin, most likely, it would have to be them. His question is why, not who is sending 50 Bitcoin. For the first time in about 11 years, guys. This is absolutely huge. So leave your comment below. This is breaking news for sure. It's actually interesting that we're getting a drop as this is happening. So we'll continue to monitor that throughout the episode. But guys, let's actually look at what an ascending triangle definition is. So currently, let's take a look at this. So they're usually considered a continuation pattern, and it kind of follows the trend that happened before this pattern. Now, I have this small one drawn here, but some people are including some other data, including these two levels here. So for this looks as though it would be a continuation of the previous trend, which was an upward momentum for the past 2 months, really. So it's been going up for the past 2 months. So this, based on this time scale, would usually be an indication of continued upside if it's a continuation pattern. These patterns are never guaranteed. It's always probability. Every single thing in TA is always probabilities. So obviously we see us breaking out of this now. It's breaking down significantly, but there are certain lines that this is holding up. We'd want to see this smash below 9,200 to really confirm that this is a massive break to the downside. But to be honest, this is a pretty big break. So I would say at this point, it's most likely completely busted. So a long trade is taken if the price breaks above the top, and a short trade is taken if it breaks below the lower trend line. And according to this chart, this is below the trend. So there are probably going to be some people shorting here. Increases in volume help to confirm the breakout. So let's actually see if we're getting a breakout to the downside here. Increase in volume. So far, nothing significant on the 4 hour. You can see we were descending in volume for a while. Volume getting smaller and smaller. So the main thing I want to point out here, the main problem with triangles is the potential for false breakouts, which we could possibly be seeing right here, which is absolutely nuts. I actually have seen it many times with triangles specifically, where it breaks, you think it's breaking to the downside and ends up completely reversing and actually breaking out the opposite side within that same time period of just maybe a few 4 hour candles. So it can happen pretty quick. The price may move out of the pattern only to move back into it, or the price may even proceed to break out to the other side, basically what I just explained, right? A pattern may need to be redrawn several times as the price edges past the trend lines but fails to generate any momentum in the breakout direction. So that is actually perfect for this video right now, as what I just read is literally happening right now. We get a break down, but it could be a fake breakout, and then we continue much more to the upside. So basically what I want to say here is this could be, and again, this is all probability, so we won't know. But one thing I do want to let everyone know watching is that many times on these types of patterns, we will see a breakout going to one side and everyone thinks this is what it's going to do, but it actually completely reverses and gets a full breakout to a target that it's supposed to, according to the measured move of the actual pattern. So for example, we've seen things like that happen before. And it wouldn't happen like immediately. It would take a few candles, usually some 4 hour candles, maybe at max a day or two daily candle on these moves, especially with this size move. So definitely keep that in mind, guys. So huge, absolutely massive. And we're gonna actually get back into the TA and the charts, but I wanna read this article first, guys. And as well, I cannot advise you enough. If you wanna learn my strategies and have a strong understanding of TA, I 100% recommend T4. Pinned to the description and comments below. What you're gonna get is the TA you see here. So if you find this TA helpful, if you enjoy this TA and you learn from it, that's what you're going to get in the course. Obviously, I'm not gonna hire somebody else to do the course. It's going to be me doing it. And if my way of explaining and talking about these topics is something that you can follow along with and helps you learn, then I 100% recommend it, guys. So guys, activity in the Bitcoin options market shows Bitcoin has only a 9% chance, according to this, on the Bitcoin's options market, only a 9% chance of reaching the all-time highs for Bitcoin within the next 6 months. So that's a really bad forecast for people expecting a breakout above 20K this year. So we're going to talk about this and if it's likely, or if it's not really, or if it's actually more possible that we could see a massive break above all-time highs this year. Given Bitcoin's tendency to see a prolonged rally 6 to 8 months after a halving is activated, traders in the options market are relatively cautious about the medium-term trend of Bitcoin. According to data from Ecoinometrics, the CME Bitcoin's option exchange recorded 22 calls for every 1 put, and basically meaning for every 22 people that bought Bitcoin, 1 person was selling, so a lot of people are buying right now. And when a crucial level gets tested 3 times, whether it's support to the downside or resistance to the upside, it has a higher probability of being broken the more it gets tested. Bitcoin tested $10,000 a total of 5 times just in the past less than 2 weeks, okay? So that's a lot. So a lot of people are basing what Bitcoin's going to do after this halving on what it did the other 2 halvings, which again, they weren't even exactly the same the past 2 halvings. So I think it's a little silly to expect the same exact thing from the previous 2 halvings in the last 8 years. So in the last 2, it took over 6 months to really get into a prolonged rally. The similarities though are that after 6 months, it did absolutely explode. But also it's just saying, it takes a little time after the halving for it to go up. So with that being said, people in the short term right now are not extremely bullish on Bitcoin. Most everyone is extremely bullish for Bitcoin over the next year. Okay, even 8 months from now, people are extremely bullish. But for right now, some people are not as bullish. But there are some data points, according to this article, that support Bitcoin actually breaking all-time highs by the end of this year. So the last few months, even in the Q4 of this year. And this is another bullish sign. Bitcoin is far removed from showing oversold conditions on higher time frames like the weekly chart. The weekly chart shows various momentum oscillators indicate ongoing rally can extend further, about another $2,000 in the short term, okay, which would be perfect, which is a lot of people are predicting for this as well. So guys, now we'll actually take a look back and see what's going on here. Yeah, so we got that sharp rejection. So there are two, this is happening in real time, so by the time this video gets uploaded, most likely the price won't be where I'm talking about in this video, but there are two things I want to talk about for you people watching in the future to see if they actually come true. So like we mentioned earlier in the video, with these types of breakouts, usually, like especially to the upside, it very often happens where we get a false breakout to the downside, and then over the next 24, even slightly less than that hours, it actually reverses and goes up. Now it's holding so far. It got a little bounce right around 94, which is good. If we get down to 92 though, so this is what we're going to look at. If we get down all the way to 92, which you can see is right about here. So if this candle gets even longer and we extend down here, then guys, we're going to throw that scenario out the window. If we get that low, then I don't think that we're going to do something like this. Okay. Right now, it's still possible, especially after we got that quick bounce. It's still possible we could reverse over the next day and get a breakout to the upside to about $11,000. So let's actually zoom out so you can see that. Something like this, okay? But if we would do something where we actually come back a little lower, even if we get near that 92, I don't think that's likely. So for people watching in the future, obviously you'll have a different chart in front of you. You'll have more data to extrapolate. But as long as we continue bouncing here and we don't go lower than 92, then I do think it's possible this could be a very big breakout to the upside. If we go to 92, then we could be revisiting the bottom of this line, and specifically 9,800, which is a huge level on a lot of these charts. And when we actually look at this daily chart here, this move is actually, I mean, it's relatively small. It looks kind of big on this triangle right here. But on the entire, you know, on this chart here where it goes back about a month or two, and it's on the daily chart, this looks like a very, you know, a normal rejection off of this line. And this is a really good illustration of just how condensed this price action is, guys. It's just, you can see the tension is just literally pushing towards this line, and it desperately wants to break out. It got a little small rejection. Can we get a break up? And as well, this is another perfect illustration on the daily chart. The 21-day moving average right around that 92 is another strong reason why that has to hold. If we come down here and break that, then that would be bearish. But until we do that, we're still literally trading in this normal range that we've been trading in for like 2 weeks now. Okay, guys, so let's do this for the last 6 videos. Okay, video number 2, paste it in there. Okay, get YouTube comments. Let's see here. Wow, 293 comments. I don't know if it deleted some of those. Wow, congrats, Fred J. Bullish short term. Be ready for 14K. Fred, make sure to get in contact with me so we can get you this ledger, guys. And as well, smash it up to 1,400 likes, and we'll be giving away another one tomorrow. I actually have my last shipment that I ordered during the 50% off sale coming today, I believe. So again, we'll probably give away a few ledgers in a very rapid time frame. Instead of like 4 a month, we'll probably end up doing like 7 or 8 ledgers this month because of that celebration. And as well, guys, make sure to check out T4 if you want to learn the strategies and have a strong understanding of TA. I highly recommend T4. About 2 hours of content, not too long, but definitely enough. Definitely enough. You don't have to spend days and days watching. It's easy to consume and just a ton of valuable information packed down in there. Okay, for my YouTube videos, I have to play the YouTube algorithm. For the most part, I have to make my videos at least 10 minutes long. I have to do certain things. But with T4, I don't have to do that. I don't have to play silly games. I can just pack more information into basically however long I want to. And I try and do it in shorter videos. Most of the videos are about 4 minutes long. Insane value for the price as well. You won't find a course cheaper than this one. Specifically, we did it that way. And guys, as well, if you want to pay in Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, or if you just have questions, make sure to shoot me an email at TylerSCrypto@protonmail.com. Thanks again for supporting the channel, and let's do this.